Stop. You're about to see the truth. I'm going to get into the scouting reports, the offensive and defensive game plans. Let's get into this. Now you might be wondering, why did the Panthers win 30-0 last week? Well, it's the defense. The Panthers defense was tricky as hell. For Michael Penix at least, because it was going from a defense into cover 4 or vice versa. And a ton of cover 4 with different matching principles. So confusing. For Penix, it looked so bad. So to start the game, they started with middle field closed looks, one high safety looks, going to cover 3 match, cover 1. And then they started to disguise and shift and play with the defense. And Michael Penix saw it rocket science. It was a ton of cover 4. They were starting in cover 3 or a middle field closed look, and then a safety to the wide side or to the bunch side would jump up and play cover 4. They would both be in deep zones in matching principles and vice versa as well. It would be cover 4, a middle field open look, and then one safety to a bunch side or to the strong side of the field would sink down or shift downwards, showing a cover 1 robber or a cover 3 match. So a couple of disguises they showed on film were cover 4 middle field open 2 safety look, shifting the safety on the wide side of the field or onto the bunch side or trip side, bringing him down to play in a hook zone where to play that middle of the field and double the dig routes or the inside breaking routes, Drake London dig routes or crossers. And yes, it was a ton of cover 4, but every time it was a matching principle. And obviously it depends on what you're calling on offense. Every player has a matching principle or a different job to do on every play, so that's why it looks different every time, and Michael Penix got threw off. And they were in nickel a ton to utilize that slot cornerback. A good example. So it was basically Penix's first read was going vertical, right? So he's running vertical, whether it was a fade or a dig route, the slot nickel would actually stick onto that for a couple yards and then crash down, run downhill on the running back who was on a swing, or it would be a drag or something going into that zone. In this situation, Bijan Robinson was running a swing and Michael Penix thought it was open. He thought it was man coverage. So he threw it to that swing route and the cornerback was accelerating and crashing down. He took that to the house for a pick 6. That's just one example. There are a lot of examples, whether it's, for example, Drake London on a dig route and having the free safety and middle linebacker on that side double him temporarily. A lot of examples, and it's the defense I told the Patriots to use against the Steelers. Remember when I said that? I talked all about this defense, and it's a very similar defense if you exclude the cover 3 cloud. And look how the Panthers executed it. I said, hey, New England, use this against the Steelers. You won't regret it. They never used it. Look what happened. And then look what the Panthers did to the Atlanta Falcons. They would have different matching principles, meaning that they're basically trying to throw the quarterback off. And this will be the best defense we face this year. I hate to say it, but if the Patriots don't listen to my offense this time, it's going to be a huge problem, as well as the defense. And yes, it is advanced, but I think a quarterback who knows what he's doing, a quarterback who's on the same page with his offensive coordinator, you hear that, Josh? I think they can destroy this defense, but it destroys offenses that aren't situational and are mediocre. Michael Penix, who wanted everything kind of given to him, didn't adapt. A lot of stuff I have here on my scouting report, and it was insane, at least for a mediocre quarterback-led team like the Atlanta Falcons. And you know I'm going to be calling plays to beat that during the live stream. But I think you need to listen to this offensive approach before it's too late. So you know how I said they play a lot of cover 4 and switch from cover 4 to something else to cover 4? I bring it up again because cover 4 is a good defense against a inside run, because the safeties have to help in run support. That's how their run fits, or they're supposed to help in the run. and crash down when they see a run helping the players in the box. So I would actually implement more inside zones and ISOs, play action, inside the game plan. And why would I do that? Because I want to run those when the defense isn't in cover 4. So say they're in cover 4 and then they switch out of it and I'm in inside zone. And then they switch into something else, say a cover 2 that's bad against the inside run. And then I get a good run. Then what they do is the opposite. So they adjust into cover 4, stop that run, and play match defense. And that's when I call the play action. There's safeties, step up a bit too much, and then I put the ball in the hands of my best players to get me the big boy plays, the big yards. So it's the play action plays to put more of in the game plan, the run plays to decrease the amount of in the game plan. I want inside runs, inside zones. And third off, and most importantly, I think Josh needs to change his mindset, his approach to these games. Playing time is over, Josh. You need to start adjusting. You need to start playing situational football. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I called it out in live streams. I said, hey, this play is good, but it's not the play you should call right now. I think he was calling the right plays at the wrong time or the wrong plays at the wrong time. And it's because Josh McDaniels is fitting his offense into Drake Maye as opposed to fitting Drake Maye into his offense. Having plays that Drake is comfortable with, not force-feeding plays to Drake Maye. I think as an offensive coordinator, you're supposed to work with your quarterback as one person, as a team. Just because you have this game plan doesn't mean you have to run it all. What if your quarterback doesn't like that? And I think that's where the greatest OCs come in. They adjust to what they have. And I think Josh McDaniels right now isn't listening to what Drake Maye has to say. This is a disguised match coverage defense. And I think you need to give Drake Maye the wheel now more than ever. This is a warning. If they don't do it, this can get embarrassing real quick. It isn't even worth it. They're the Panthers. They can't do it unless you let them. I think Drake Maye should address this by not doing whatever Michael Penix did last week. Sounds simple enough, but trust me, it isn't. Be patient on reads. Do not assume or predetermine reads, not predetermining coverage. You see the disguises, you see the switches, the adjustments. So you be patient on your reads in case they're baiting a read or in case if it's about to close as the ball is in the air or close quickly. So you want to double check as well as not predetermine. So pre-snap, you determine cover 3. So what you do is you eliminate a route. For example, you determine your route you're going to go to. You have this clear picture in your mind. Hey, I'm going to look 1, 2, 3. And then what happens is the disguise happens and then the match principles come in and then you're mixed up and then Michael Penix got thrown off. He didn't know what to do. But what Drake Maye has to do here is keep that in mind. You saw cover 3. You saw them adjust to cover 4. Okay, I'm going to put that in my database. Next time they come out in cover 3, I'm going to expect a cover 4 or I might keep the default or know they will stay in cover 3. So if I see them adjust into cover 4, I'm going to react to it faster because I took that into account as a choice that may happen. Something Michael Penix did not do last week and was tricked by multiple times. So Drake Maye has to take that into account when he sees a disguise. Keep it in mind. It's going to happen again, especially if it was successful, and that's when you can take advantage of it, as well as know when to run the ball or use play action. I insist you adjust. I know Drake Maye is going to do what's right, but it's Josh McDaniels who might mess this up. This is the mentality. If they fool me once, shame on them. If they fool me twice, shame on me. Shame on me because I didn't learn, and I think that's what Drake Maye will do. He's a way better, way smarter quarterback as long as he has the flexibility and comfortability to call plays, take the driving wheel, and do him. Now let's flip it. What about the Panthers offense? Well, first thing I want to say is when the Panthers go into empty, It's either a bubble screen to McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona State, the rookie, number 4, or a fade. It's also used to reveal defenses so Bryce Young, the quarterback, can know exactly what you're running. They did that in the last 2 games. Their offense isn't as good as the score indicates, but they just got their 30-plus point yard win since 2014. A lot of short routes 3 to 12 yards deep, and he used play action against the blitz to slow the blitz down, have those defensive ends and blitzing DBs kind of freeze, and then if they didn't bite, he'd dump it off to a tight end on a flat or a running back, or throw it blindly to McMillan. But it's a lot of quick outs, a lot of drags, a lot of flats. If he's going to get a big chunk, it's going to be him running. And I wrote here on my scouting report that the Patriots have to have a quarterback spy on short downs. So it's 2nd and short and 3rd and short, because on those downs is where he gave himself a fresh set of downs to keep the drive alive, right? That's how good they can take advantage of mediocre, lost defenses. But don't get fooled. This offense is predictable, and I have the defense to stop it. But you know why they put up 30 plus? Because they adjusted. They played situational football. I think they played the offense they needed to do, taking what the defense gives them, not whatever Josh McDaniels was doing. I think you need to play chess with them before you get left behind. Now let's get into the Patriots defense and how to stop that offense. It's a similar defense I talked about in the previous pregame show, and then I explained defensive line stunts and techniques against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Since we're a man team and Gonzo is back this week as well, I think what we should do is keep the disguises, but do what I say now so we can throw Bryce Young off, is using man and match coverage and disguising while blitzing from the edges to keep the quarterback in the pocket. To do that, you need to be disciplined on defense. It's called defenses like cover 2 man and then adjust into a cover 4, not bringing any safeties down. Or we can do a cover 4 middle field open look and then bring someone down to play your favorite cover 1 thief. But this time we're going to use the defensive line stunts I talked about. Whether it's the 3-eye technique, just keep him in the pocket, really containing him in the pocket. Simulated pressures on match coverages to double certain players at certain times, like I talked about at the beginning of this video. For example, you have an outside linebacker who sim pressures, right? And then a drag is coming this way. He kind of doubles this drag. Or if it's a dig route, he doubles this with a linebacker or a safety, or the safety is free, he can take, for example, another route on the other side of the field. A lot of variants you have on defense to use. Even me as an offensive genius, I am 100% confident you can win this. Use this defense right here. And defenses you do, the chaotic blitzes, I do not like that. I want it to not be more safe, but to be more smarter, as well as approach it like chess, not checkers. I predict the Patriots win 28-21. We see improvements. The Patriots listen to this, hopefully. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, peace.